The Philadelphia 76ers and Washington Wizards are facing off in the first round of the 2021 NBA playoffs. And, after a disappointing start to the season for Washington, they made an amazing run to catapult themselves into the playoffs, squeaking into the playoff game, then defeating the Pacers to get that 8th seed. The Sixers, meanwhile, they are led by their two stars in Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. After coming up short the last few years on that quest for a championship, they are looking to bring a title to Philadelphia. In today's video, I'm previewing the series and giving you my prediction for who's going to win it. Sixers and Wizards, Wizards and Sixers. Cheesesteaks versus the Lincoln Memorial. Rocky versus Joe Biden. Lots of history between these two teams. It is going to be a fun matchup. So what can we expect from this 1 seed versus 8 seed matchup? Well, I'm going to break down every last detail. First though, how's it going, everybody? This is Troy of the Half Court Report YouTube channel, back with another playoff preview and prediction video. You may have seen that I've done some others on the channel. Make sure you check those out if you haven't already. And I would love if you drop a like on this video. Would love if you subscribe to the channel. New videos coming out all the time, and I am previewing every playoff matchup all the way through the NBA Finals. Although the Wizards are heavy underdogs in this series as the number 8 seed, Philly knows that they're not going to be able to sleep on the dudes from DC. Russell Westbrook, Brad Beal, and the rest of this Wizards team finished the regular season on fire, and they are entering the postseason as one of the hotter teams in the NBA. And while the Sixers are tops in the East, they had best beware in this matchup. So let's go through some of these rosters and break down who I think are going to be the difference makers in this series. So, of course, starting with Philly, you got to go with Joel Embiid. You got to go with Ben Simmons. These guys are the engine that make this Philadelphia team run. Joel Embiid, he is the process. This dude's second on my list in NBA MVP voting right after Nikola Jokic. I mean, what can't this guy do? He can score, he can stretch the floor, rebounds like a beast, he blocks shots, so he's a great defender as well. He's got the offense and the defense. Remember when he was coming into the league, you were getting like Hakeem Olajuwon comparisons, not quite that level, but he's a really, really good player. And I really love how Doc Rivers, the coach for the Sixers, has brought out even a lot more, I think, out of Joel's game. But he's also done a really nice job with Ben Simmons, who is one of the best defenders in the NBA. Could be Defensive Player of the Year. That'll probably go to Rudy Gobert. 6'10" point guard. He's an awesome facilitator. He's going to get guys the ball in the right spots. He is going to run the team like no other. And I think he has really good chemistry with a lot of his teammates. So, the guy is not an all-star for nothing. He is a really solid player. Then you have the supporting cast of Seth Curry, who is playing for his father-in-law in Doc Rivers, Steph's brother, of course. But, it took Seth a few years to get acclimated to the NBA, but now he's a great shooter, scores the ball from deep, knows his role. You have Danny Green, who came over from the trade of which was eventually from the Lakers. He had a spot or two in between before making it to Philly, but came over from the Lakers after winning the championship with them last year. Another 3-and-D guy, stretches the floor, and you need that around a player like Ben Simmons, who can't really shoot it, but he stretches the floor. He can guard his man. And I have not even mentioned Tobias Harris, who, had a case for being an all-star this season. Would have been his first time as an all-star. Didn't quite make it, but Tobias Harris, whether you see him as a second option or a third option, one of those guys who really gets after it. And I think Doc Rivers, again, has brought his game to another level. Then you have Matisse Thybulle, who I've been a big fan of for a really long time. Awesome defender, kind of in that Tony Allen mold, who's not going to score a lot of points, but is just going to defend the other team like crazy. Going to go into the passing lanes, going to get steals, going to get blocks, going to get deflections. So I think Philadelphia's game plan is just going to be playing through Joel Embiid, playing through Tobias Harris and having Ben Simmons facilitate. Their coaching is excellent. The guys really seem to like each other and play together well. And they had the best record in the Eastern Conference. I think Philly just needs to keep doing what they've been doing in order to beat the Washington Wizards. But, it's not going to be that easy. Usually, the 1 seed versus the 8 seed, it's like, okay, the 1 seed is going to sweep these guys. And you know that Philly wished they were playing the Indiana Pacers. But Washington is now the 8 seed. And I think they bring some interesting challenges to the Philadelphia 76ers. So, of course, you've got Russell Westbrook, who is playing like a man possessed. I think we can go out on a limb and say that he's going to average a triple-double for this playoff series. I thought it was interesting how when he was with Oklahoma City, when he was with Houston, people were saying, okay, well, Russell Westbrook, he just steals rebounds from the other big men that he plays with. But then when you look at Steven Adams, who is now with the New Orleans Pelicans, Steven Adams, it's not like he's getting 12, 13 rebounds a game, so maybe Russell Westbrook really wasn't stealing the rebounds from his teammates after all. Maybe he's just that good. I am a huge Russell Westbrook fan. I love the guy's fire. I love the guy's attitude. Big fan of Russell Westbrook. Also, big fan of Brad Beal. I did think that this pairing would have Washington higher in the standings before the season started. But Washington, they have Westbrook and they have Beal. They don't have a whole lot else. And their coaching is maybe a little suspect from night to night as well. But the Westbrook and Beal tandem is awesome. Either guy could go for 40 a night. I think that Brad Beal has also really improved as a facilitator as well. Gives another playmaker to have on the floor. One thing that I'm going to be watching for this series, though, is how the big men play against Joel Embiid, because it's interesting because Washington has 3 big dudes who, if anything, can just give Embiid 6 hard fouls each game. I figure they're going to start Alex Len, who himself is like 7'1" and just a big, beefy, 250-pound dude that, if anything, can just lean on Embiid for like 20 minutes a night. Then take him out of the game. You can put in Robin Lopez, who is the lesser of the 2 Lopez twins, but who's more of that inside type of game, bruiser kind of player, energy guy who can also make life a little bit tougher for Embiid. And then you've also got Daniel Gafford, who came over in that Bulls trade. And I think he's a young, up-and-coming player. He's only in his 2nd year, I believe. But he's another guy who's capable of playing tough, hard-nosed basketball and just being another bull, another beast inside. So how are things going to shake out? The Wizards are indeed a quick team in transition, much of that in part to the athleticism of Westbrook. They actually ranked 1st in the league in pace this season and in transition points. The Sixers, though, they do have some solid perimeter defenders in Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle. Those guys are going to be capable of containing Westbrook and Beal. And, it's not going to be an easy task, but I think Philly should be up for it. Embiid is going to look to continue his dominance. Simmons, he may need to pick it up offensively, but ultimately I think the Sixers are going to be able to slow down the Wizards in transition and slow down that attacking of Westbrook and Beal. It's definitely going to be their key to victory. All that being said, Philly's size and overall talent, I think, is just too much for Washington. My pick is the Sixers in 6 games. Let me know in the comments who you've got winning this series. Make sure to drop your predictions down below. Who you got, Sixers or Warriors? Also, check out the other prediction and preview videos that I have posted on this channel. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure you drop a like on it. Would love if you do that. It really helps in supporting the channel. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel as well so you never miss another NBA video. I got content coming all the time. Hey, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. My name is Troy, and I'll see you next time on the Half Court Report.